Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Compassionate Communication community on Facebook. I go live here every Tuesday to talk about compassionate communication, and I go live on Thursday to talk about compassionate mediation. So I'm going to take about 10 minutes right now and talk about how you can improve all the relationships in your life right now, starting by being more in self. So take a breath with me. Let's just be present. And think of a relationship right now that you might be struggling with. I know some friends of mine are talking about getting a divorce. Some other friends aren't speaking to their children. Other friends may have trouble at work. Whatever you have trouble with in a relationship, think about that person right now. And ask yourself, are you being your best self? Because you might not be your best self in this relationship. And what I want to help you do is be your best self. And that's what we're going to talk about. So take a deep breath. And just allow yourself to think about what story you're telling yourself about this other person. He always does this, she never does that. What are the beliefs that keep you in conflict, even if the conflict's within your own mind? So check out what you're telling yourself about the expectations, the disappointments, the shoulds, the stories, and just make a note in your mind. You could do more of this later on your own. And then think about how painful this relationship is to you. Does it make you feel scared or sad or unloved or vulnerable? What are the feelings that you're feeling, and where do you feel them in your body? In your heart, in your chest, in your throat, in your back? So check out, what would it be like for you if you didn't have to tell yourself those stories, if you didn't have to feel the feelings of pain or sadness or disappointment, and you could truly relate from your heart. So this is the way to do it. And there are 4 tips. The first one is you connect to your best self. And what does that mean? I'm an IFS therapist, an internal family systems therapist, and Dick Schwartz, the founder of IFS, always talks about self as having 8 C qualities. C as in courageous, calm, connected, curious, confident, compassionate, and I always add grateful. And when you're feeling all those calm, compassionate feelings, you're in self. However, we're not usually in self in our relationships. So what happens is, in our interactions, we get triggered. And when we get triggered, it triggers some deep wounds sometimes. And instead of acknowledging our pain or our fear, we try to manage it. And we go about our business, or we try to ignore it, or we try to stay busy. But even as we're trying to manage our lives, those exiled feelings come out, and we act out in ways that cause stress. They cause stress for us, but they really cause stress for other people. So some people eat too much, drink too much, get addicted to things, get enraged, go have an affair. There's all different ways to try to get extreme, because you can't manage your feelings and you can't acknowledge the exiled feelings that you're talking about. So when you're in self, you recognize that you're a human being, but you're really a spiritual being having a human experience. And what does that mean? It means that you're divine. It means that whatever spirit, soul, God, nature, higher self means to you, that is who you are. And learning how to be in self when we're leading our life improves all your relationships. So to connect to your best self, here's some ways to do it. You can meditate, you can journal, you can pray, go for a walk, you can take a bath, you can quiet your mind and listen for the messages from your soul. And there's lots of different ways to do that. Whatever brings you peace brings you back to yourself. And then the step 2, tip number 2, the first tip is connect to your best self. The second tip is let go of your limiting beliefs. Let go of your limiting beliefs. So first of all, you have to know that you have limiting beliefs. All those stories, all those expectations. Someone wiser than me once said that expectations are premeditated resentments. Think about that for a moment. Expectations are premeditated resentments. So if we don't expect, we can't resent the fact that our expectations aren't met. Now, you may have to leave certain relationships if you're not getting your needs met, but take a look and see how much you're laying your expectations onto someone else and then being disappointed that they can't deliver it exactly as you want to. And Byron Katie does a lot of good work on her website and the work where she has you look at your thoughts and ask yourself 4 questions. Because she said that 85% of the problems in life become because we believe our own thoughts. Think about that. Just because you have a thought doesn't mean it's true. Just because you have a story doesn't mean it's the only way to look at the situation. So write down a belief, and Byron Katie says, ask yourself 4 questions. Is it true? Is it 100% true? How do you feel when you think that thought? And how would you feel if you could let that thought go? And then take a breath. And you'll notice, you might think it's true, but it's not 100% true. And you probably notice that if you could let that thought go, you'd feel much better than you do. And then she asked you to try on a different thought. Because when you have a different thought, you have a different feeling. And when you have a different feeling, you can often show up more in self, because you're going to drop down from your head and all that judgment into your heart. But connect to your best self, let go of limiting beliefs. And the third part is to unburden pain from the past. You may need some help with that. You may need some therapy. You may need to talk to a trusted friend. You may need group support. You may need to go to a 12-step program. But when we're carrying around pain from our childhood, pain from when we first got married or in a relationship, pain from other relationships, and we bring that old pain into the present moment and project it into the future, that keeps you from being in self. And it also makes you more vulnerable to being more hurt, because that well of exiled feelings never gets unburdened. So internal family systems is a great way to get to your higher self, let go of those limiting, managing beliefs and judgments, and go back to where the pain was first caused and take better care of yourself. So I want to invite you to check out an IFS therapist in your area, or work with me if you'd like to, and see how you can unburden the pain from your past. So tip number 1, connect to your best self. Tip number 2, let go of your limiting beliefs. Tip number 3, unburden pain from the past. And the final tip is to relate from your heart. Take a deep breath with me. Relate from your heart. Because when you connect to your best self, and you're no longer using your belief system to create walls around your heart or filters through which you judge someone else, when you unburden the pain from the past, you really are a channel of love and a beacon of light. And from that place, all relationships heal. You may decide you have to leave some, but you can do that with boundaries, not cutoffs. And you can do it coming from your higher self. So for my friends that are getting divorced, I invite you to notice that divorce brings out all parts. And you have to learn how to speak for the feelings underneath, the fear and sadness, because that's what's going on for both of you. Thich Nhat Hanh, the great spiritual leader, said that people like to take sides. And what we can do as therapists or mediators or coaches or clergy or parents or anyone helping to be of service is to go to one side in a conflict and tell them about the pain and suffering of the other party. And then go back to the first party and tell them about the pain and suffering of the other party. Because once you can have compassion that we're all having the same feelings. We all have the same parts. We all have the same challenges. And you can come from your higher self and speak with empathy, set your boundaries, and be safe. You really can relate from your heart. So once again, here they are. Connect to your best self, let go of limiting beliefs, unburden pain from the past, and relate from your heart. And I want to invite you to go to lindakroll.com/CCC, lindakroll.com/CCC, for a compassionate communication care kit. It's a free gift, and it gives you a guided meditation to actually get to self, to see what it feels like to come from that calm, compassionate center. It also gives you a 4-minute overview of what compassionate communication is. It gives you a relationship assessment so you can start to assess how you are showing up in your relationships. And it gives you a roadmap to my compassionate mediation process. So I'm so glad you joined me, and I have a lot more to share. So let's stay connected. And before I leave, I want to offer you some visuals to help bring this home. So here we go. Connect to your best self. And to do that, you let go of your limiting beliefs, unburden pain from the past, relate from your heart, and go get the Compassionate Communication Care Kit at lindakroll.com/CCC, and then begin to do the guided meditation. Because as you do that, you can let go of your limiting beliefs. You can unchain yourself from what you've been telling the stories over and over again. And you don't have to suffer with pain from the past. You truly can unburden it. You get to see what a burden it is. And as you unburden it, you can relate from your heart to heart with someone else. And as you're relating from your heart, miracles happen. They really do, because you change the dynamics, you change the energy between you and that person we started thinking about at the beginning. So just take one more breath and imagine yourself showing up in the relationship, and you don't even have to interact with that person. You can show up right now and just change your energy. Just stop judging. See if you can stop telling yourself the same stories. See if you can find the inner child in you that needs appreciation, affection, attention, and acceptance, and give it to yourself. Stop looking for it from the other person. Give it to yourself, and then see what shows up. Because as you listen to the guided meditation to get to self, you're going to understand that your parts can keep you stuck. They can keep you telling yourself the same story and dropping into the same foxhole and getting some post-traumatic symptoms from whatever was triggering you in the first place. But it doesn't have to be that way. Get the guided meditation, learn how to be in self, and as you do that, you'll let go of your limiting beliefs, you'll unburden pain from the past, you'll relate from your heart. And that's what I wish for you. I wish for you the opportunity to become your best self and have all that you want because you've let go and taken better care of yourself. So you can get 15 minutes to get to peace, get the Compassionate Communication Care Kit. Join me in the Compassionate Communication community on Facebook. You can go to compassionatecommunication.group. That's compassionatecommunication.group, and join us there, where I go live on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And if you're listening to this after the fact and you have any questions about your own relationships, leave me a private message and I'll get back to you. So I wish you a wonderful day. I wish you wonderful relationships. I wish you self-leadership with more peace, love, and joy in your life always. Great staying connected, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.